Hello, Moral, and welcome to Speaking of Everything. With me, I have a very interesting gentleman, been here before. He's back after, 2 years, 3 years? Mr. Brown. How you doing, Mr. Brown?
Great. Good morning to everybody.
Hey, morning, evening, afternoon, everything, and this is going to be on demand, right? You know that, right?
Definitely.
You're the most popular man in St. Martin, man.
Yeah, of course. That's how it is. I make it real. I make it happen.
Yeah. I want to go back a little bit because, you're in the media. You have your own business.
BCN TV, yeah.
What's it called?
BCN TV News.
BCN TV News, right? And you
Registered at the chamber.
right. So you're not on the dot side.
Vous parlez français?
You're on the French side too?
I'm international, man.
Just pulling your leg. Yeah. So how long you been doing this, Mr. Brown?
It's a couple of years. It's
You got to speak a little louder though.
I think it's over. It's going for almost 20 years.
20 years?
Almost going for years. It's heading down
Wow.
to that
Don't walk a Beverly one on me,
to that number.
You know, I said, don't walk a Beverly. I got 40 years doing this show. Beverly came after me, and she now got 40-something years. I can't understand that one.
There's a miscalculation.
Oh.
So have mercy.
Okay. Yeah, so what made you get into this business? Because the last time I spoke with you, I didn't ask you that question. Because St. Martin is a unique island. You've been here, 40 years now?
Almost, yeah.
Almost 40 years. So you're now a part of the media, right?
What is that?
You're now a part of the media.
If I'm never
No,
part,
you're now a part of the media.
it's a while. Of course, I will. When it's a part of the media, how you explain that? I mean, I'm busy on TV news. The media, it's an international terminology that where a person, it doesn't matter wheresoever they are, since they.
So if I ask you, you're now a part of the media because you're a mechanic by profession, right? You were saying to me earlier.
Yes, I'm a mechanic, I'm a painter, I'm a welder, I'm multi-talented.
Right, and you now step into the media in St. Martin, right?
Not long. Listen, that's what I'm telling you. I almost 20 years. I'm with the media. Well,
Yeah. What kind of training you had before?
there was association. There was association. I did training. Yeah. Well, like I had association.
you
I had
didn't train abroad?
I had association with Ricardo Williams,
Yeah.
and you know how long Ricardo Williams exists. When I had my association with Ricardo,
So he trained you?
who I met, of course, this guy will inspire me. Also, Guy Simmons, all of this Guy Simmons, who is at DICOM, this guy will direct me certain time. Ivan Ramajan, who left, he's in New York. So this guy guide me so I can say I had training from this guy, Ricardo Williams, open his hand to me because I was dumb where editing. You know, those days we used to use this machine like you are in the casino making this noise. These.
Those are we had back in the 70s and 80s and early 90s the U-matic machine.
Yes,
Very large.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, also when I come into line, he was using this big old tape, and you have to turn this thing with your hand. You know, this kind of machine.
Yeah.
And then.
In fact, I still have them.
Yes.
And they're working perfect.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then we actually go down to the VHS tape, and then we drop down to the small DV tape, and so it came down now to SD card, and everything is digital, and everything on hard drive, and so forth and so on.
So like what we're doing here, everything is basically IP. Every piece of equipment have an IP address, etc. It's all digital.
Right, so everything is digitalization. In the Council of Ministers, well, Arian was emphasizing digitalization, but the people did not really understand. And now, seeing that just now I mentioned to you that digitalization had its have foretold in the Bible, but the people did not understand. And take it or leave it, it is not this that the government of the world saying, listen, this is the way the world goes.
Well, look, this technology is great technology. Before when I started, I had a lot of people. I mean, Ricardo started with me also.
When you say Ricardo started with you, can it be more explicit?
In television production, after he left LBC, he came to work with us at the GIS. In fact, I got him the job at the GIS.
So take it back to LBC was Sam Hazel, was my very good. I want to say Sam Hazel. He was a nice gentleman.
Great gentleman, great. So I used to do the show at LBC. I started in 1984, the 1st of March. I think you were still a little boy. And Ricardo was one of the editors with me on that program there. And when I started World Star Studio back in 1990, he was the guy that worked with me, set up everything. So Ricardo and I go back a long way before you started. That's why when I said to you, you're now a part of the media, I didn't mean you know today. But, your profession was not that, now you're that. Even if it's 30 years ago, I would say you're now a part of the media. So I don't want you to feel left out, you know what I mean? But the thing about it is that in St. Martin, you become very popular, but at the same time, a lot of the people in the media don't like your presence. You realize that, right?
Don't like my presence?
Yeah.
Well, let me say like Mr. Kunaps, take it or leave it. There's no use. Nobody can stop us now.
Yeah.
And I use the Bob Marley terminology. So it's not what they like.
Yeah.
Every man have a right to decide his destiny.
Yeah.
So as the International United Nations was said, there are freedom of expression.
Right.
Freedom of expression does not mean only verbal. Your expression, your lifestyle, the way you dress is a total expression. So no person do not have no right to shut up and to make it, because there's freedom of the press. And the question will be, how do you define the freedom of the press?
You think the press is really free? And I don't like to use the word press. It's an old-fashioned word. Let me explain you why. The word press was used back in the olden days because everything was newspapers. Okay?
Yeah.
So I use the word media. It goes better with our situation today globally. So you, as a member of the media, had some issues with the government. Was that resolved?
Well, we have some issue.
But they didn't want you to attend
actually,
unless you was working with someone, etc. I don't know the whole detail. What happened there?
The whole thing is, there was behind the scene, there was manipulation.
Behind the scene?
Yes, manipulation, because what happened...
And politicians?
No, DECOM politician, yeah. DECOM, what happened is not everybody in DECOM like what the Prime Minister will say and do.
Really?
But what happened, they are afraid, because there's a bullying attitude that if you speak too much or say too much, you can be victimized. So most of the time they lie low, and they will speak behind the scene. They will like try to get a voice out of DECOM. But the whole thing was, oh, Mr. Brown, you're not doing it. This is how we want it, and you call that manipulation. You cannot manipulate a reporter to tell them, no, this is our way. You do it this way. That's manipulating the person. And then because you are not lying low with them, then they find ways to see how they can shut you up. So the whole thing was, when I go in to the meeting, I get a call from Maurice Lake. I say, oh, Mr. Brown, we got to discuss something, so don't come. But behind the scene, they already have their plan. They had round table. I mean, how come I become so popular? And so important that you live in your work and having a round table discussion over Mr. Brown. For what? Because I changed the level of journalism where I goes in the community and I speak to the good, the bad, and the ugly. And then people want to know.
When you say change, I tend to differ there with you.
No, when I say change,
I
mean
the reason why I say because before you came along, no, I have to correct you.
No, when I say I
was doing that.
Let me explain. Okay, when I say change, places where I can go, and where I'm going, other reporters don't go. So that's what I.
No, don't go now.
Yes.
See, because there were people before you. That's what I'm trying to tell
you. Yes, but I'm speaking now.
I know.
I'm not speaking.
But I can't let you sit there.
No, but I'm not speaking in your time. Okay, so you got to explain to the audience.
That's what I'm doing now.
Where you used to go, but I am telling you now. I speak to people who use substance, they.
Well, let me tell you, Mr. Brown, because look. You ever been to the Garden of Eden?
But I know the good.
All right. I wasn't there with.
I know
let me finish.
The good, the bad, and the ugly.
I wasn't there. That's the belly of the beast, with the police on patrol over 30 years ago. All right.
Yeah.
I had the first AIDS patient in St. Martin on television. First person with AIDS on television.
Known.
Come on, let's be real. Okay. He came to my show because the doctor brought him.
Okay.
All right. So don't actually known. I'm not a little Johnny come lately here. I'm a professional, by the way, and I've built my career with the people of St. Martin that everything I do, if it's not fruitful, I don't do it. So people have that confidence in me.
Okay.
So when the doctor brought that patient to my studio, we had an agreement. The first AIDS patient in St. Martin to appear on television with the face hidden. All right. So what I'm trying to tell you, everything you might think you did, somebody else did it before you, especially when it comes to oral games.
Yeah, right? So I always congratulate you.
Establish that.
I always congratulate you. You know that.
And by the way, I don't even know Dr. Gums.
Who by Milleridian?
Dr. Gums passed away now.
But he used to live in Milleridian. Right. His house.
He was the doctor that brought that AIDS patient.
He was a nice person.
So what I'm saying to you, when you ask me real, I don't like that because I don't do things fake. I'm a real man, and people believe in me, and that's why when they hear it, I'm speaking about everything Oral Gibbs Live, they can take it to the bank.
Right. So then let me just finish. So when I went, I saw the security at the government building, and this thing went out in the media saying Mr. Brown is not qualified. He's not allowed to come at them. So I said, but I called. I went to find out from Maurice. But what is this? How could a person send out? So, but the letter being leaked. It leaked. It's sent to the security. How could you send a letter to the security at the government building and say, well, if Mr. Brown come, don't allow him to come? This is like where you ambush. As Bob Marley say, ambush in the night. So I call him. So I say, oh yeah, he sent email to me. I said, but I ain't get no email. Because the whole thing is, he mentioned, right, that they are redoing the criteria for journalists to enter the Council of Ministers. So
press briefing.
Yes. So I acquire the license, ID card, all of these requirements. But they actually increase the criteria, make it so mountainous that it's impossible for you to pass it.
For you to pass it.
Yes, and they said I ain't gonna call a person in because I don't believe in conflict, and a person after media who frequently goes to the Council of Ministers, who is friend with the ministers, them said that the policy was made for Mr. Brown.
So they wanted you out.
Yes. So I know that because people in DICOM was giving me information of what going on.
That person is very influential.
What is that?
That person is very influential.
What do you mean by that?
If they can manipulate, right, other people to set a media policy just to keep out Mr. Brown.
The person is very influential. I'm saying the same thing what you say. The person is very influential, but for doing such, that means the person have great authority.
And it's other media person or politician?
It's probably politician, of course. But what I'm saying, the general affairs who actually did it now. It's not like St. Martin is small and everything that happened, it usually goes out. So then I went to Mr. Duncan, and he said, "But this is what happened." But
Mr. Duncan who?
Yeah, lawyer Duncan.
Oh, attorney Duncan.
Attorney, yeah.
Oh.
And he said, "But no, but this is illegal. You have criteria." Because first thing when I went at the chamber, I said, "Look, but they say, listen, no, Mr. Brown, we know what's going on. They want to get you out. But you okay, you have the criteria to do what you have to do." Then they sent them a letter, 2 letters. They said, "But what you all did, you reverse it right away because it's illegal."
So you are now permitted to attend council ministers' press?
Well, from
media briefing.
Actually, there was we call it a committee, which they invite. They said, "Mr. Brown, with Miss Henry." Miss Henry, who worked with the UNESCO, and the gentleman who used to be at I tell him, he said, but Mr. Brown, you was in this thing long time. I don't see this thing makes sense.
So we don't have much time.
Right.
That's why
So what happened now? So I said, well, they said when I go into the government building for the meeting, I said, okay, the lawyer said, yes, the lawyer should be there in the meeting also. Where she said, okay, don't worry, we don't need a lawyer. So then I got Maurice said, okay, you can reapply to get a media pass.
Did you reapply?
Well, the document them, he said, give the document them not to him, give them to Miss Henry them, and they will go from there.
So what happened now?
Well, I was just waiting for the transition of this
new government.
Yes. So
yeah, at least you're looking forward to returning to the Council of Ministers.
But that's my right. Nobody cannot take away your right, because there are people who do not have the right criteria and they are there. But I don't want.
Well, how you can make that judgment, Mr. Brown?
Because this is St. Martin is small. So then there are people who are subsidy, who representing other people. Because if you're telling me that, Mr. Brown, you need this criteria, you have a member from Daily Herald, right? And you have 2-3 person from Daily Herald goes to the Council of Ministers meeting. So then, and you didn't ask all of these person to submit all of these requirements.
They want it from you.
Yes, the Daily Herald only submit the Daily Herald, because the people them who working for Daily Herald. So if you're asking from me that everybody should submit, then everybody's supposed to submit their documents.
You say individuals then, and not the media outlet. Every
individual who go in there is supposed to submit their thing. Not like, for instance, you're working for PJ82, and then PJ82 just submit a letter. Yes, I have this person working for me, and I have this person, and that's a criteria, and that's it. But now, Mr. Brown now, because Mr. Brown is verbal, and I know the good, the bad, and the ugly, then you want to let me try to get him out. That's not a criteria. You call it the dictatorship.
I got to go back to something you said, Mr. Brown, because you said earlier, and I'm not repeating it verbatim right now, that they couldn't control you, right?
But of course, I'm.
So what happened? The other members of the media were controlled?
No, they lie low. So then.
So just stay quiet.
So what happened? They are looking for friends and company, but I am independent. I never work with nobody.
You not look for friends in high places.
You understand? No, in this aspect, media is about information. Is not about friend. And I don't want to say, let me bust about. Let me not say like Churchill, but let me use a different terminology. What will happen sometimes? Because I'm very observant. I'm not a sniper, but I'm very observant. I'd watch before I eat. I watch before I sit. I watch everything carefully and stay quiet. So what will happen? There are some ministers will give journalists in question what to ask them before the meeting.
Wow.
So the hypocrisy that been playing out, and what happened? Some of the ministers will take their portfolio personal. You cannot do that, because when during election you ask the people to vote for you to being elected.
I hear you, Mr. Brown, but I gotta go back. You were saying that some ministers give.
Let me say it again. Let me say it again in nice English. Some I have seen and I have heard. I don't make up any story. Right? And you want me to call name?
Go ahead.
No, I want to bust the pot.
When you call a name here, you better be sure about it because we verify it.
Yeah, so what happened, listen, I tell you already, I know the good, the bad, and the ugly. You know, so I say, man, is so small, everybody knows everybody. So this is what happened now. They will give the people information to ask them.
They gave the media.
Yeah.
Okay.
Individual
All
information, question to ask them.
Hold it there, Mr. Brown. You're watching or you're listening to Speaking of Everything on Hot 99.9 FM radio. We're on Facebook and YouTube. My guest is Mr. Lyndon Brown. Mr. Brown is runs television.
BCN TV News.
Right.
We are on Facebook. We are on Instagram, YouTube.
Lord, the man in more places than me. Can you imagine that?
Digitalization.
All right. Anyway, Mr. Brown, I'll tell you what. I have to go to a break, right? And when we come back, we're going to talk some more, all right? So just hold the thought that you have there. And we're going to come right back with Mr. Brown right here on Speaking of Everything.
We are vibrant, expressive, warm, and diverse. Together, we conquer, and now we expand into new horizons, giving you more of the best. Introducing our new Banco Matico Plus with wider acceptance, purchase protection, and enhanced security. Whether you're online, traveling, or in paradise, experience more with Windward Island Bank. Banco Matico Plus, more of the best.
My guest here on Speaking of Everything is Mr. Lyndon Brown, and Mr. Brown is well known. And you know, I had an interview recently. I have to move on because we don't have that much time. I had an interview recently with Mr. Piper Laundry, and he have a movie coming out, part 2, and he mentioned Mr. Brown, and I was like, "What? Is it? Are you the Mr. Brown?" Well, he said, "No, it's not you. It's another Mr. Brown." That's a character in his movie.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I said right now I had to file a complaint against Mr. Piper because he using my name, because that's my good friend. I know him well because of the popularity. When you make the analysis, it is very fit. It fit in very well to use Mr. Brown, because most of the my followers will say, "Oh, Mr. Brown, Mr. Brown movie?" But when I realize, no, but that's a different Brown.
You're not in the movie.
Definitely not. So then, Mr. Piper, yes, I'm challenging you. You should be more. What you should have done is to invite Mr. Brown in the movie.
The real Mr. Brown.
Yes, to say, yeah, this is the real Mr. Brown, the popular Mr. Brown, who have made himself. Well, not himself. The people of St. Martin.
But then
who make me.
Then people will say,
popular.
But what's wrong with Lyndon Brown? Brown is not a copyright name.
I'm the original, and the aspect, and the aspect. Let me speak like the justice system. Technicality.
I'll pull your leg.
Technicality. The gentleman is popular all over. I went to Anguilla and I said, "But Lord, the immigration them. Oh, Mr. Brown." I said, "But Lord, why are they doing this?" You know, I feel though you're making me, you know. And then now a person asks, "Excuse me, sir, who are you?" A politician. Imagine a politician pass and the people don't even recognize the politician. I said, "Mr. Who is it?" "Yeah," I said, "I'm a reporter from St. Martin." I said, "Okay." You know, so it's like I've been welcome. I went down the islands and they welcome me very, very well.
So you can see now why some of your colleagues are not happy and envious?
But is it not for them to be happy, and even not for them to be envious neither, because you have the opportunity. You have, and let me say again, I don't discriminate no one. I will interview every politician, but you need to understand people have freedom of expression. So then if you actually live in your life, you choose to live a life. That's your choosing. It's not for me, Mr. Brown, to intercept your lifestyle. I appreciate everybody. I meet and speak with the good, the bad, and the ugly. You see, but what happened, what you need to understand, St. Martin there is a religion behind the scene. A hidden religion with a distraction. So when you talk that the people are not together, the people are not together. They only use an entity as a name. For instance, the Lions Club. The Lions Club, there's an agenda. It's like a religion behind the scene. And then you have these religious people who come out on Saturdays and Sundays. But they are part. So there's a smoke screen. There's a distraction. For the normal people who would not understand. And because of that, St. Martin have a zip, in other words, a silence. No, you can't say nothing. Don't say nothing. Keep it quiet.
You think that's only in St. Martin, Mr. Brown?
Well, let me speak what I know. I know St. Martin very well, and I know the people. So then I again and again still thanks to the people, because wheresoever I go, even in St. Martin, Sandy Ground, Grand Cars, wheresoever, the good, the bad, and the ugly, the people. I mean, some will love you and some will hate you still.
So that's why you see Mr. Piper now have Mr. Brown as the main character in his movie.
Definitely. So then I got to take him to court, because there are other things where people speak verbally and then they end up in court. So then I have to take Mr. Piper to court. I mean, why you using Mr. Brown because of the
character is not a really nice character.
After popularity,
yeah.
And then he well, I haven't seen his preview, but in what you're telling me, the character what he's profiling is negative. It is not positive.
Well, I can't speak for him.
But what you see?
But I just say it appears like that. Let's leave it like that. I don't want to say too much. I prefer you to see the character in the movie and then draw your conclusions.
Yeah, because I have followers in New York, in the UK, in Central France. Every day when I go on the justice apparatus of the Friends, checking everything what I do. Yeah.
So that you too?
Yeah, they're checking everything. The Netherlands. So in every French territory, they're checking what I do. But I don't discriminate anybody. So then, and the aspect, it is not right to profile that. Listen to me. You say what we want. Like, for instance, during the Council of Ministers, I was a minister, but because I know the people them so much, as a minister, what happened to the Justice Minister, Delris Connigator, Floyd Richardson from St. Peter's, and yes, a gentleman from Dominica, about 4 or 6 persons who have died in the hands of law enforcement. So as a minister, what can you tell us about it? And then up to now, there's no answer. There's no clarity. So all of this, they don't want to, but Mr. Brown, you're going too far. But Minister, these are using psychological terminology in the council. So then sometimes it distracts them, because I trying to avoid conflict. But it still come out conflicted, because, for instance, as a minister, there's a person who have been shot, well, who have been disappeared recently, and the family are wondering where the son are. Is he died? Is he beneath the sea? Minister of Justice, what do you know about it? She said, no, I don't know nothing about it. And it was the brother of Omar Utley. So then, how could a justice minister know that the brother disappeared? And then the news break that he was in the States. So all of this, I mean, so then is there something wrong? For freedom of expression and the middle. It was recently again. There was an issue with my brother, who goes to the Seventh Adventist. So his daughter Mario, his daughter passed away for some reason, and I went in the bushes far away from the house, and somebody said, "Mr. Brown, no, not here." And then now it has been said that it's privacy. How could somebody commit suicide? And you're telling me in my face that it's his privacy. So all of this, so then, oh, Mr. Brown, you're going too far. Why you? So then the question is, it boils down. Then what is journalism? And what is freedom of the press? Do you find, Mr. Gibbs, in your analysis and your estimate, am I being presumptuous?
I don't think so at all. But the thing is, I want to go back a little bit because you mentioned that suicide. That was your brother's daughter, you're saying?
When I say my brother, Mario goes to the Seventh Adventist Church.
Oh, okay.
And I'm a Seventh Adventist.
Okay, all right, I got it. Now I got it. All
you
right.
know, so all of this, and then and there are untold, unsolved mystery. So sometimes even like, and then when I asked the police spokesman, I said, "But listen, what do you have to say about this, Mr. Brown? We're sorry, this case have closed. We haven't find no crime committed." So so I'm saying, you have me, not in St. Martin. I feel that I am somewhere in some other country, because how could it be possible that a person, according to what they said, commit suicide?
But you know.
So no. The question is, so then the question, what lead a person to commit suicide? There must be a trigger. What trigger this person?
I understand what you're saying, but I want to go back and then come back to that, all right? Because I think you're making a very, very valid point. But I need to clarify something here. And the reason I'm going to ask you this question is to don't feel offended by it, because I have to ask it in this way, in this context, to get to the other answer, all right? You're originally from St. Martin?
No, I was born in St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
All right. And I was born in St. Martin. Now, it makes me a citizen and you're a non-citizen. No, don't get upset. I'm just pulling your leg, man. Oh,
that's
pulling your leg. Just pulling your leg. All right.
But my family is them all in Curacao, in Holland, all over the world. I have family in Curacao.
Of course.
So it's a connection. Just that my grandparents as I speak, they have property in Bonavista, in Curacao.
I say that as out of jest in a way.
Yeah.
You know that, by the way. But anyway, so having said that, I was born in St. Martin. What I noticed over the years, wait a minute.
But your parents are from where? Wait,
Mr. Brown.
I'm not cutting you.
No, you have to wait, please. Okay, this is my show now. Let's wait. I was born in St. Martin. I went away to America, studied, came back, and started this show with no money. No money. Zero.
Really?
No money. 0 cents. All right? Don't move your chair too much because it's going to move all the way to the camera. And the reason why the government disliked me is because I asked the questions that everyone was afraid to ask. In 1994, we were taken off the air. The Oral Gibbs Live and Speaking of Everything. Off the air. I was in court with both the federal and island government and cable TV. I prevailed. Had I backed down in 1994, I wouldn't be here today. I stood up and I fought them. I paid a lot of money in legal fees, but I came out ahead. Because the judge said, if you don't like it, just turn your TV off. You don't have to watch his show.
Okay.
But the politicians of that time saw me as a dangerous guy, and they wanted to get me out of the way. I asked the questions and went to places no one wanted to do. But I always said, I was born here, you can't send me nowhere. And other people that came from outside of this island, like yourself, and came in the media started to sing the song in tune that the politicians wanted. You see? Now, you said you're from St. Vincent. And now let's come back to what I'm trying to say. Because you know, the majority of people in the media of St. Martin are not from St. Martin, weren't born in St. Martin. They're afraid. They want to be friends with the politicians. Let's be real here now. You're just the opposite. You started asking the questions that will piss off the politicians. You shouldn't do it because you're not from here. You see what I'm trying to say? But they can't touch you. Things have changed. Now let's move on. Is it correct to say that the majority of people in the media in St. Martin are not born in St. Martin?
Overall Gibbs, I was attempt to say, I make it, I clarify. Most people who are here in St. Martin, their parents are from another country.
No. And that not, no, right? Brown, wait. No. Answer the question.
I said this to come to the question. No. I said this to come to the question.
Hold on. I asked you a question I want to answer. Yes or no on this one, please. So most people in the media, are they born in St. Martin or not born in St. Martin?
Yeah, well, which most people are not born here, but
okay. You said earlier that they take questions from politicians. You think the politician is going to give me a question in advance that I'm going to do it? No way.
Well, it depends on your relationship.
No, it don't. Also. It don't. Let me tell you why. Claude Watty, you ever interviewed Claude Watty?
No.
Okay, good. I interviewed him many times. Okay, and in 1984, when I started this program, I called Claude. I said, I'd like to interview you. He said, well, you know what? Send me the questions. Well, hold it. I said to him, no. He said, I'm not coming. You know what I did? I walked up into the government building, walked into his office, and I confronted him.
He's a brave man.
No, I was crazy, according to them. And I said, let me tell you something, Mr. Watty. You have a responsibility to the people of St. Martin, all right, to clarify certain things. And I have a show, and you're invited to be in that show. But there's only one condition. I am not going to give you any questions in the Claude turned red. He turned red, he turned around the window, and I walk out the room, okay? A week later, who called me? Claude Watty called me, said, Mr. Gibbs, we'll do that interview. I said, I have one problem. He said, what? I ain't on the camera because they're using LBC TV studio and they couldn't bring the camera out at the time. He said, no problem. I will have Mr. Peterson, Ronald Peterson. I'm calling names here now. Ronald Peterson will do the interview using the GIS camera.
Okay.
All right? And that's why if you go back in the archive and you watch the picture, the first video I did with Claude Watty is done in the government administration building. All right?
Okay.
I am one of the few people in this business don't have no question written down. You can see there's nothing written down. Everybody walking, whether you're attorney, doctor, no matter what.
Because of your experience.
Not only that, because I got people that experience, they're still there with a note all the time. But what I'm saying to you, Mr. Brown, is this. The foreign people in the media in St. Martin don't like, wait a minute, they don't like me.
Really?
Really, you know that too, so don't pretend.
So how I like you?
No, that's different. No. I said the foreign people in the media don't like, and you know that. So don't.
Yeah, they don't like you.
Yes, they don't. Furthermore, let me finish, please. So what I'm saying to you is this, right? I bring you on the program. This is not the first time. I had you on the radio station too for a full hour.
Yeah.
I have no problem with you. Okay? And that's what I'm trying to say to you. I admire your courage to stand up to these jokers, some of these politicians.
I won't. Well, no, they're not my enemies, though.
Wait a minute. Did I say enemy? They don't use the word. No, Mr. Brown. No. One saying, don't use the word enemy. Wait, I said jokers.
The terminology, I mean.
No, the jokers. But they're jokers, some of them. Okay. All right? Some of them are really jokers. They have no respect for the people of St. Martin. And they feel they can manipulate and control the media. Now, if you're trying to slide out of what you just said and say, well, you know, I got to be cautious and be very careful what I say, fine. But you know, let's be real, you know that you were asking questions. You said it earlier, and you wasn't taking a question from them. And because of that, they turn on you, man. Am I correct or right?
Absolutely.
wrong?
Absolutely.
So then don't say enemy. Look, nobody's my enemy. In this business, I'm very objective, but don't think you could bullshit me because it won't succeed either. See what I'm trying to say? And that's where it ends. Because if you come on my show and you try to bullshit me, I'm going to tell you a line.
Wait a minute, me personal? This is not personal?
No.
Okay.
That's what I'm telling you.
I'm just joking.
No.
Yeah, so what I was saying, right, recently, that most people who are in parliament, who are prime minister, who are the parents comes from another island. You understand? Mm-hmm. So most people who are in government, they say, well, I'm here, they're born here, but the parents is from all over the region. I mean, it's okay, they claim St. Martin as their own. It is okay, they have a right to.
You get that information from Olivia Arundel, huh?
I don't really follow much of all.
What are you doing? You're moving out the range of the camera, man. Come on, move back a little bit there, man.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's good.
So, yeah.
I don't follow everything what Olivier
You told me you
said.
spoke with him last week, sometime the last
Yes,
week.
but I don't. And as I tell you already, I come from an Adventist background. We believe in forgiveness, and I avoid being discriminated and
I understand.
So what I was clarifying to say, because when you go in the government building, everybody parents from the islands. But most people some people not naturalized, some people born here from the parents in Dominica, the parents in Antigua, the parents in Montserrat, the parents in all over the world, even from Asia.
What I'm trying to say,
all I'm saying, and they claim St. Martin as their own.
But Olivia gonna put all of you out, you know.
So when they got to say, he born here?
Yeah, he born here. You know that too.
I know
You're
that.
not a citizen.
Where you born?
You're not a citizen, so you're gonna be out soon too.
Where you born?
Don't get scared, man. Don't
get scared.
Don't get so defensive, Mr. Brown.
What scared for what?
Come on, man.
I don't. That is not my that's not my conversation. No. So when you check all over, the whole police station is Spanish, Dominican, all kind of people.
Where the police station?
Of course. So everybody parents from another country.
My mother from Antigua.
Really?
So what wrong with that?
Huh?
What are you trying to tell me?
I was in Wadadli there last
Yeah?
June. Yeah. If I had known, I could have passed and say hi.
Understand?
Yeah,
But
and I love you.
But at the same time, my family roots are both French and Dutch side from my father and my grandmother. Go back way back. So what I'm trying to say is some people might come here, and yes, they were born here, and I have this belief. Any child that born in St. Martin is a St. Martin, period. I don't want to hear where your father and mother came from. Okay? All I know that you're born in St. Martin and you're automatically a St. Martiner. Now, having said that, I don't have to justify or clarify anything about who is not and who is a St. Martiner. All I'm saying, Oral Gibbs' doctrine is you're born here, you're from St. Martin. So that's not the issue here, Mr. Brown. The issue here is that when I told you earlier that you was that I re-clarify your statement about the media of which you are part of, and that they were taking questions from the politicians. I said to you, I know that too, because many of them come from other places in the Caribbean. They want to be friends with the politicians.
Okay.
You just happen to be different than the rest of them. It's like, I don't care, man. I'm going to just act. I admire you for that, man.
I'm a sniper.
You're a sniper, be careful. Don't use those terms because...
when I say a sniper, I mean, when I say a sniper, it's like, it's a terminology. In other words, a sniper characteristic, they look at things. I mean, it's in the concept. Is it that concept, not to destroy somebody, but that is it's just the terminology that you are visible. So you are visible, you look at things and analyze things, but not destructive, not being destructive. You know, and I must say, I admire you very much. Congratulations for all the years that you have presenting and offering your service to St. Martin and the world. you're now digital, yeah. You're
Long time. No, see now, come back.
No,
No,
I'm just
you
asking.
really get me angry.
I'm
now,
just
bro.
asking.
Bro,
I'm just asking.
don't do that, bro.
I'm just asking.
Get me angry, bro.
I'm just asking a question. You see, I asked. You're fully digital.
Let me explain.
How long you have been digitalized?
We were the first to go digital in St. Martin. 2004. 20 years ago.
Okay.
I see you squeaking. You don't believe it? My
Come
wife
on.
right there, she'll tell you.
Why would I
20 years ago, we did first before everybody in St. Martin. We're trailblazers.
Right. Do you feel acceptable? I mean, you have give your service. Do you feel sometimes that you're being accepted by the people?
Wow, that's an interesting question. Let me ask, why you ask that question?
Because I believe when people who have contribute, it doesn't matter how. You should show some form of appreciation.
But you're on the road, you should know. What you hear people say about me?
Well, the road is not a bed of roses.
So what you hear them say about...
No, but I don't endorse negativity.
no, but I'll ask you.
You see, so in my
We hear more negative or positive?
I don't be in the group of that. I do not endorse those kind
You're a
of
smart guy, man.
those guttery
But that's
like
not... ask you, yes or no, you hear more good or bad about me?
good because you've been doing something good. It is visible that you've been doing. Like for instance, law enforcement, right? People like some people will see law enforcement on the road and they're saying, "Oh, it's immigration." And I will tell the people in my city, listen, the law enforcement have the bank to pay. They have the wife, they have the girlfriend. They go through pain just as everybody else. And the way they just want to confront like these people, or they're against me, they're not against you and mine, you know. You see these young people on the road? I really congratulate them. They are very polite and they are very intelligent. But I find there are a lot of people that try to profile the officers, them like, oh, they out for me. No, they have the boss, they're doing a job. If something happened in Colby, they have to call, Chief, yes, so-and-so happened, what should I do? You know, so there's this misconception.
Yeah.
So me, I Mr. Brown holistically. And because of that, they are open to me. I can speak to them as if we are brothers and sisters.
That's nice. So, where do we go from here? Because, you know, you've covered a lot of things. You're well known. You're very popular. And a lot of your colleagues envy you for your popularity.
Why would you say that?
You know that too, by the way.
What evidence do you have? I'm speaking like an investigate.
Yeah, you know, you want me to call names, right? You want me to call the names? Are your colleagues who don't like you? Let me start. You right?
Don't call the names.
Don't call. Oh.
As I already tell you, I told you already that I don't believe in conflicted moment. I believe in keeping the peace.
Okay, because I'll start a war here.
we don't want a war. You see what happened in Israel with the Palestinians. We don't want to go down that. But really, you know, it's kind of unfortunate that the people must appreciate people.
I agree.
And here in St. Martin, I have respect. You know, when I meet people on the street, I always try to lift them up. I mean, I don't have a lot of money, and they will say, "Oh, Mr. Brown, I need something to come. You want something to eat?" I just look. Sometimes a young guy.
You're a millionaire, man. Where you what? 200 million?
A guy who goes Sunday school, I know they have issue because the economical crisis have an impact on people who receive minimum wage. It's not easy. Up to now, people, big men I saw who were
I know, I agree with you.
Sleeping in cars.
You're telling me I know?
And what I does, right, is not I'm being nosy in people business. My job is to bring awareness. So that's why a lot of time, I know the people telling me lies now. But I already know, but I allow them. I say, listen, my job is to bring awareness. So those who look at you and hearing you, they will make the analysis. But people are going through economical crisis because the system have set.
Okay, let me say this now, Mr. Brown, because I know you're a very popular guy, but you know, we gotta admit, Olivia Arundel came on the scene and basically blew away all the other guys, man.
Listen, I speak to him time to time, but what you need to understand, right? With all of these rhetorics, right, and most of the time it has a negative impact. The question will be to Olivia. Then what do you really want to achieve? What is the concept? Is this rhetoric billing St. Martin? I mean, because if I mention to Oral Gibbs that you are a thief, and you are, Oral Gibbs, you thief money, you thief GIS money where you used to be there, and so forth. These are words that you would not want to have conversation with me.
Is, I was head of the Government Information Service for 10 years. No money circulated there, so I can't take money anyway.
Right. So what you need to understand, you can lock people and open people. When I tell Josefa, you're doing a great job, how he feel? He gonna want to speak to me tomorrow.
So you feel that the message from Olivier should be different?
He mean well. What he said might be very true, but the way it presented is more degrading.
But people are telling me, they said to me, he blew away Mr. Brown, he blew away BB, he blew away.
Spoke, I don't understand what is, when it's a blow away.
In terms of popularity, everybody.
No, but it's not about that. This is St. Martin. How do you keep the peace? How do you appreciate your people who did? Listen, so.
The peacekeeper then, you're trying to say.
Right, so if, for instance, Omar Otley, he came from far, and the gentleman can speak. Right? But again, if I, Mr. Brown, degrade this person, you think they're gonna like you? So you need to know, you must know, as the Bible say, a word fitly spoken is like picture in something of gold. But what I'm saying, if I criticize everybody, they won't like you. They will hate you. So your job should be, you need to release the pain of the people. The people, as I mentioned just now, the people are going through economical crisis with Oral Gibbs. Big men are sleeping in cars.
We know all of that.
So the question is, now, I can say, how do you, Oral Gibbs, Olivier, Minister Utley, Justice Minister, Minister of General Affairs, how do you ease in this pain? Now, they are youngsters and scooter, and they have access to the good, the bad, and the ugly. They are crying out. The youngsters are crying out. But nobody understand the cry of the youth.
Normally I do the show for a half hour and over 52 minutes with you.
But you giving me preferential treatment.
So then that
telling me
you're going to run into problems with other people who are going to say, I bring you here, I give you all that airplay.
Because I'm Mr. Brown. Piper used Mr. Brown for his popularity for his movie.
And he came on the show too. Well, Mr. Brown, it's always a pleasure having you on the oldest and longest running television talk show in St. Martin. You know what it is? What's the name of it?
Oral Gibbs Live.
Speaking about it.
Well, listen, but no, I think you're making a mistake. There's a gentleman from Aruba, St. Nicholas.
Who that?
Dwight Venner. Where did he came in?
He's gone. I'm still here.
No, I ain't talking about that.
Dwight was before me, you know. I didn't say it was for us.
Oh, he was before
Dwight was before me. And when I was starting this show, by the way, I contacted Dwight. Hey, I'm starting a show. He said, no, we'll interview. I did an interview with Dwight Barron on Profile before I started the show to show you we were brothers, man, cooperating with each other. And look, he was a show on the outside, and we were a studio show. You see, there was no competition.
What do you mean, brotherhood?
The brotherhood of the media.
So you're all a brotherhood?
Yeah, I don't mean not in the context that you got.
Don't say what I don't say.
Right.
I'm just asking you.
Look at it.
I'm just asking you.
I started the television show in 1984. The guy who was there before me interviews me. Okay, he's no longer there. All right, he's gone. He stopped. He's just showing back archives of his.
But he's still in Aruba.
I don't know. But by the way, this show, and read my lips, please, and listen carefully on Hot 99.9 FM radio. Speaking of everything, is the longest running television talk show in the history of St. Martin, consecutively 40 plus years now. Okay, we never stopped. Only when there was a hurricane, we couldn't go on because there was a hurricane. So this is the longest running consecutive television talk show in the history of St. Martin. Now you can take that to the bank. And you too, Mr. Brown, you can take that to the bank.
To the bank?
Yeah.
Right, so then finally we are counting down.
We only got 1 minute remaining.
Oral Gibbs, so how much, in your calculation, how longer you see 150 years?
200 years.
200 years.
200,
No.
300 years.
And how you helping this? Do you invite school, like youngsters? Do you plan to set up a program where you can teach the youngsters media? Because up to now,
Hey, you're going to come back and we're going to talk about that.
What's the matter?
Hold on. Because we other time. Let me tell you why. Because I have I'll take you and show you what I got. But you see, you can't tell people what you're going to do. Because when you tell them, they block you. See what I mean? Yeah. You know that too. But anyway, when you come back next time, and when you got some time, I'll show you what I got and to answer that question. All right? So, Mr. Brown, I want to thank you. I want to wish you much success. Always a pleasure having you here. We out of time right now. All right?
Thank you, Will.
So, you take it easy and tell all your fans, all your million-plus fans, check us out on Hot 99.9 FM radio.
Alles good.
Right?
Bienvenida.
Alles gut, not alles good.
Alles good.
Alles gut.
Alles good. Bienvenida. Gracias. Yeah.
All right.
Merci.
Merci.
You see, we in St. Martin, we speak
everything.
I from here. Nobody can run me from here. I from here.
You sound like the fellow from Antigua now.
Antigua? You speak like me?
Shut. Nobody gonna run.
You better be careful.
Olivia gonna run you. Huh? Olivia gonna run you.
Let me go and speak to Bobo. Bobo, tell Bobo I say.
Hey, okay, thanks. Huh?
Thank you.
All right, that was Mr. Brown. I'll see you next time right here. Speaking of everything on Hot 99.9 FM radio, Facebook, and YouTube.